Let's explore the sports car of motorhomes, the Gulfstream BT Cruiser. Founded by the Shea family in 1983, Gulfstream is the largest family-owned RV manufacturer today. We pride ourselves on a tradition of excellence, premier customer service, and delivering industry-leading quality at the best value. Take a look for yourself.
All right, let's get into the exterior walk around on this 5245 BT Cruiser. This offers you a lot of high-end amenities at a great price point. You're going to see that a lot of these amenities that I'm going to show you are what you're going to see in the upper 1,000, low 200,000 price point, and we're going to be way below that on retail. So a couple things to start off with. Full body paint on this coach. It's a brand new design that we unveiled this year. It looks amazing. I love it. Really brought a new life into the coach. For your front cap, you have a one-piece molded fiberglass front cap. Your roof is also a one-piece molded fiberglass roof. Your rear cap is also going to be a one-piece molded fiberglass rear cap. And you'll kind of see that as we get walking around the coach. So let's go into what makes us special, what makes us different. As I said before, we are a family-owned company, so we're under our own umbrella. We're not under any of the major big three umbrellas in the RV industry. So starting from the ground up, what we do is we really overbuild our chassis. And to make anything great, you have to start with a great foundation. And so we do that by doing the cradle of strength. What the cradle of strength is it's a series of trusses that start from the front to the back. And so the truss sits and we weld it on top of the chassis, and it ties in both sides of the chassis rail. And so we weld it on top of the chassis. It runs the width of what the coach is going to be. So for the truss for our BT Cruiser, this is 96 inches wide. Our truss are 96 inches wide. So what's nice about this is that each truss can support 6,000 pounds of strength and stability. And you add that up over a couple trusses. This one's going to have 5 trusses. Our 30-foot Class Cs are going to have 9 trusses. So you add this up, this chassis, the foundation can support 30,000 pounds. Now that doesn't mean you're going to be able to load in 30,000 pounds. That's what the chassis can hold, not what the suspension can hold. But what it's going to do is it's going to offer you a great ride. It's going to give you a nice buffer from the bumps going down the road. And also, most importantly, that's a lot of steel protecting you and your family on the inside of the coach. You know, worst case scenario, an accident happens. A lot of steel separating the car that might hit you from who's inside the coach. So going up from the cradle of strength then, we go into our floor. Our floor is a full steel welded frame floor. We've got block foam insulation in between each truss of the floor. And what we do is we actually put it on a jig. We weld all of it up together so each floor is the same, whether it's 30 foot long, 24 feet long. All of them are going to be symmetrical to what the coach can do. All of them are going to be identical to which floor plan we're going to be putting them on so we can keep it all uniform. And so what we do then is we take 3-inch plywood, put it on top, and then we do a galvanized underbelly, and we vacuum laminate and bond all that together. And then we take that floor and we bolt it into the cradle of strength. So go from there, we build the cabinetry and all that good stuff from the outside, inside out, and then we get into our sidewall construction. So our sidewall construction is vacuum laminated bonded sidewalls. You can either get it with a high gloss gel coat, partial paint, or full paint option. Our substrate, the backer on our fiberglass, because every fiberglass needs a backer to mend to something. It's got to mesh when you're doing any sort of laminated process. And so as our competition might use Luan, which is a cheap wood from Thailand, we're using a composite American-made substance called Azdel. And the nice thing about Azdel is, as I said, it is composite. It wicks water away, so you don't have to worry about the composite swelling if it gets any moisture in it. And you don't have to worry about it molding. You don't have to worry about it mildewing. It's not going to smell of formaldehyde going down the road. And a nice little added feature on it is it does make a nice natural soundproof barrier from you into the exterior. So it does actually quiet down the ride quite a bit. Number one thing that's going to give you though is you don't have to worry about delamming. And so what delamming is that it's when the lamination of your fiberglass breaks from moisture getting into the Luan, swelling and compressing, swelling and compressing as it heats up and dries out, heats up and cools down. And eventually it's going to create bubbles in the fiberglass. And so what that is that's delamming. It will cause your sidewalls to either crack or just bubble and not look that nice anymore. And it's a very expensive process to fix. And so we take that problem and just eliminate it by putting money into our Asdel. So that's our sidewall construction. We also use aircraft aluminum as our structure for our sidewalls as well. The whole box is going to be constructed with aluminum or steel. So like I said, the floor and the chassis are all steel. This box construction itself is going to be aluminum. So you got your sidewalls are aluminum, your rear wall is aluminum, your roof is aluminum, the structure in the front cap is aluminum, the whole shell is aluminum. So it gives you a nice strong skeleton of a box, and so that's what's going to give you a nice long lasting life for your coach. It's called protecting your investment. You spend a lot of money on these, you want them to hold up and last a while. So moving back here now, getting out the construction point. So we've got a 6-gallon water heater. This is direct spark ignition, DSI, and its recovery rate is about 10.3 gallons per hour. It is gas or electric, and it will switch automatically. It will detect. Primarily it starts in gas. Once you run out of gas, or once it senses that there's no gas flowing through, it will switch that water heater over to an electric tank, and so that you can still keep your hot water going until you can get a nice little propane fill. So we do have, speaking of propane, we do have a quick connect here. So if you want to set up a grill outside, obviously we're under the awning, you want to be able to enjoy some time, enjoy the nice little view we got over here. Set up some chairs, get a grill out, make some breakfast, make some lunch, make some dinner. We do offer a nice little quick connect so that you don't have to worry about providing your own butane or propane for a grill, which is nice. Going into our storage box here. So all of our competitors are now using Rotocast. So what Rotocast is, it's a pressed plastic. It's, it looks clean, it looks nice, but is it reliable? The thing that you want to be able to do is you want to be able to put your stuff in your coach, any of your belongings, any of your heavier belongings. Typically those are going to go on the exterior boxes of your coach when you're traveling. And you want to be able to just put them in there and not have to worry about them going down the road. So you have to ask yourself, do I want my belonging protected by the material that they use to make solo cups, or do I want it protected by the material they use to make safes out of? And so we're using galvanized steel still on our storage boxes. That was kind of the industry standard a while ago. We never got away from it because it's worked. It's always worked. There's a reason why people have to make stamped copies of these boxes, because they do fail over time. And with us, we don't have to worry about making a stamped Rotocast box because we don't use plastic, we're using steel. And so what can happen with the Rotocast over time is, like I said, it does give it a nice clean look, and it does look nice when you open the door. But what can happen is, if you get anywhere that's going to have road heat or tarmac heat coming up off the ground, that's going to cause that box to warp and sink over time. The other thing that's going to do is it's going to get eaten away by rocks and road debris. You could actually flip a big chunk of road debris up into the box. It could crack it, which is why you're going to have to get it replaced. With the steel, again, you don't have to worry about that. Just set it, forget it, move on. Your stuff is going to be nice and protected. We do put a float line in there, so it does quiet it down quite a bit, and it does give you a nice little cleaner look too when you're opening up the box and loading it in. So we've got two 110 outlets on the exterior here, so you can plug in your radio, your TV, whatever you want to do. This is just your backer for your fridge. We do use a gas electric fridge, so this is where a lot of the moisture and a lot of there is a drain here to expel the moisture from the fridge that's going to generate. Fan for the vent, we'll get inside and go over that. You do have your black tank flush. This is standard on every single Gulfstream motor coach. So our Conquest C, our Conquest LE, our BT Cruiser, all of them have a black tank flush standard. And what's nice about the black tank flush is, it's kind of disgusting, but it breaks up the solids in the black tank so that you don't have to do it when you're draining it. It does all the work for you. All you have to do is get to a dump site, hook up your black tank, which we'll show you on the other side where it's at. It's very easy to get to. Hook up your black tank, hook up the water, and just let it do the rest. So it'll flush out your tank for you. It breaks up the solids nice and easy. Give it a couple minutes, you're good to go back down the road. We also do an outdoor shower. What's nice with the outdoor shower is, walking in from a hike, maybe some of you have dogs, maybe some of you went barefoot. You can just go up, hose off whatever dirt you have on you, and just get back inside your coach and you're nice and clean. You don't have to worry about tracking dirt, debris, mud, sand. None of that can go inside your coach because you're able to hose off before you even get to it. It's also nice for hosing down coolers, hosing down your grill, cleaning any chairs or any outside wear that you have that might have gotten rained on or might have gotten dirty. And maybe you're in the mountains of Utah. It gets pretty sandy out there when the wind starts blowing, so it's just nice to have an exterior shower. Coming back here, so you've got your rear cap. Like I said before, this is a floating wall. Everything that's on the inside of it is laminated though. So this is our, like I said, it's got Azdel insulation. You got your aluminum construction, all of it gets vacuum laminated and bonded together. And then we throw this one-piece fiberglass rear cap up on top of it. So it's nice. Looks great. We've got premium inlaid traffic lights or taillights as well. You've got your backup camera comes standard on every single BT Cruiser, Conquest C, and Conquest LE that we make. And a couple of extra features that we have. We do have a ladder for roof service. You've got your spare tire that's rear mounted, a little sandwich plate that goes through the wall and sandwiches it from the inside, so it's nice and stable, nice and sturdy. You don't have to worry about losing your tire going down the road. And then we've got our tail hitch here. That's a 7,500 pound hitch, and it's huck bolted in place. And what's nice about the huck bolts is, I mean, you find those on commercial applications and railroad applications, applications that have high impact, high intensity, high rotation, and it's meant to basically excel where the nut and bolt's going to fail. And so a nut and bolt over time can actually loosen up, especially if you've got weight on the hitch going down the road and it's bumping and banging, bouncing, doing all these other sorts of things. If you've got a huck bolt on there, it's not going to loosen up like a nut and bolt would. And that's the worst thing you can do with anything that's going to support any sort of weight. You do not want any give. We do tie it into our frame rails, and so when we do that, the huck bolt is a pin. It's a sleeved pin or a riveted pin. And it's got a collar on the other side. And what we do is pneumatically or hydraulically, we'll press it together. And so when we do that, it actually presses the metal of the collar into the pin. And so total, we have roughly 79,000 pounds of clamp force, and we've got 82,000 pounds of shear force on that hitch. So you don't have to worry about losing it going down the road. It's nice. You can set it, forget it. You don't have to have any more problems. Up here, like I said, you can actually see that one piece of molded fiberglass roof right there, drip rail, and then we've got slide toppers on every single slide that we produce on every single motor coach again. Conquest LE, Conquest C, the BT Cruiser, all of them have the slide toppers on them, slide awnings, whatever you want to call them. And that's nice because what that's going to do is that's going to protect your slide box, which is a leak area, a very, very common leak area. And that's going to take that water and roll it off in case it rains. It's going to protect it from snow, protect it from debris, especially if you're parked under trees. Stuff can actually land on top of that slide box and then cause issues as you're pulling it back in. That debris can get stuck in between your slide box and your fiberglass and kind of knock it out of line and cause issues going down the road later. So that's just a nice little added protection for you guys. As I said before, this is where our black tank flush and our gray tank flush are located. So they're very easy to get to, even with the slide box out. And this is kind of nice because there's some floor plans that it's kind of difficult to get to your black tank and to flush it and drain it. And, you know, just adds to the experience being able to do it nice and easy. As right here, we got a nice little, another storage door. It actually goes pretty tall. This is a good area to put like standing chairs or tables. It's just a nice little extra box for you guys to use. There isn't anything crazy with this either. It's actually framed with our cabinetry on the inside, so we build a box around it, and then we line the inside of that cabinetry to make it look nice on the exterior here. This is where you're going to put your drain hose as well for your black tank flush after you use it. It's a great way to store it and keep it out of your belongings, keep it contained so that you can keep the rest of your experience nice and clean. And if we go under here then, under the slide box, going right to left real quick, we've got our house batteries. I'll get into why we do that here in a second. You've got standard, a 42 pound propane tank. And then standard, you've got a 4,000 watt Onan generator. And the nice thing that we do with these is we actually tie them into the 55-gallon fuel tank that you have on board here on this coach, and we put a fuel sensor in it. So when you get down to a quarter of a tank and you're out on the road and you're using the generator, we'll actually kill the generator so that you're not running down the rest of your gas. And so, to use your AC, to use your TVs, you have to have the generator on. And maybe you're sleeping at night and it's hot. And I know it sucks that you're not gonna have the generator to keep the AC cool, but it's not gonna leave you stranded. So if it shuts off on you in the middle of the night, shuts off on you during the day, that's a safety feature to make sure you can get up and go to your next place. And then just fill up with gas again, and you're good to go. You're good to use the generator again, all is well. But this kind of wraps up the exterior walk around on this BT Cruiser. I hope you guys like the exterior of it. We'll get into the interior next.